What's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello.
What's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello.
Jesus, why does that not turn down when I ask it to? Hello, hello. Oh, oh, that's cold. All right, goes. That's better. How's everybody doing today? Hosewater, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I gotta refresh this over here because it looks like. There we go. That's better. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry. I'll be straight up with you guys like I always am, right? I'll be straight up with you guys. Yeah, Patrick, that's what that was. Yeah, I'll be sharing with you guys. I'm not doing great right now. Yeah. So, but that's okay. We still need to be here. It's all good. Yeah. Eh, I'm dealing with some personal shit and yeah. Oh, hey, we're here. We're still gonna have some conversations. We're still gonna have some debates. I'm not I'm not gonna let it stop me. We all have bad days, right? Mine's been the last couple of days. Okay, but we all have bad days. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. It's okay. It's okay to have bad days. I've had a bad couple. Probably, not going to get better anytime soon. so, so you know what we have to do? We have to just push forward, right? We have to just push forward. Okay. I will say with the kids I was trying to help, they actually should have arrived today. I have not gotten the notification that they've arrived today, but they are supposed to arrive today. The last I checked, they were in the car and they were on their way here this morning. So, if you want some updates on the kids, that's the last update I got. So, they're on their way here. That's good news, right? That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. No, I have not gotten to meet them today. I have not gotten to meet them. Obviously, they were traveling today. Okay. So they're on their way. Obviously, I need them to go ahead and get settled, right? Obviously, I need them to get in and get settled. Okay. Meeting me is not important. All right. Meeting me is not important. The kids being there is important. All right. That's what's important. All right, y'all. We're gonna get this thing going. I really appreciate y'all. we're gonna get into some conversation. So if you support Trump and you'd like to have a conversation with me, there's two ways you can do that. You can join the multi-guest request box over there and have that way, or you can call on the phone and talk to me that way. And we can have some conversations. For the rest of y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, I'm not having a very good time right now. Okay, but we're here anyway. All right. But if you guys would like to support the live, I would really appreciate it. I would appreciate it now more times than most. Okay. So if you would like to support the live, I do have my pay links in my bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And I also have super chats open and all that stuff. So if you'd like to support, it would mean more to me right now than even normal. All right. So I really appreciate you guys and thank you so much. We're gonna try to get this thing going, and I'm gonna try to stay. I'm gonna try to stay cognizant, right? We're gonna keep our head in the game, right? We're gonna keep our head in the game, right? We're gonna try to keep our head in the game. We're heading the game. Let's do this. All right, we'll open up the phone lines. We'll get this thing going. But again, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate y'all. Cannibal Kitty, thank you so much for renewing that subscription over on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very, very sweet. Oh my goodness, what is this dude whining about? All right. We'll go ahead and do that. All right. Let me bring up my backup account and we'll get this thing moving. All right. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate you. Thanks, Jen. I really, really appreciate you. All right. Phone lines are open if you'd like to have that conversation. If you'd like to have any type of anything like that, then freaking join on in. Join on in. Let's see. Who's this person? Oh, they left. Oh, no, they didn't. Hi. How old are you?
26.
It's insane.
Awesome. You support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, not really awesome. Honestly, kind of weird. Very strange.
You got that lady to switch the Cracker Barrel logo back.
Oh, yes. That's what America needed. America needed the Cracker Barrel logo back.
It's the truth.
I don't care.
The only reason they took it off is probably because of, DEI or something, taking the old white man off the photo, and you see what that resulted in. Fucking 40% drop in the stock.
Sir, I didn't know Cracker Barrel stock was made, had that much funds to begin with.
Yeah, well,
if Cracker Barrel stops being a restaurant tomorrow, literally zero things happen in my life.
I bet you didn't say that about the Bud Light campaign thing, did you?
Nope, said it about that too, because I don't drink Bud Light. Yeah. So.
Were you mad that people were upset about Bud Light?
Absolutely not. I could not care less.
You didn't say anything about Bud Light.
I don't give a flying fuck about Bud Light or Cracker Barrel. Here, I'll even go one further for you, okay? I'll go even one further for you, okay? Here's some places that the left gets mad about. Chick-fil-A, I still don't care. Hobby Lobby,
why would you
really care.
Why would they get mad about Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby?
I wasn't going to Hobby Lobby anyway. Okay.
Why would they get mad about those two places?
I was not going to Hobby Lobby for the same reason that I don't drink Bud Light, because it sucks.
Hobby Lobby sucks.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby really sucks.
Where do you buy your arts and crafts?
The internet, like a normal person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been to Cracker Barrel twice in my entire life, and neither of those times were even slightly memorable to me. Neither of those times were even not one time did I leave a Cracker Barrel and be like, man, goodness gracious, this was awesome.
You
Like
probably didn't get the chicken and dumplings.
this was just all the heat, man. I don't know. I might just live here. I might just move in. Right? Like I don't care. Cracker Barrel, you know what the worst part about Cracker Barrel changing their logo was? It had nothing to do with freaking, with DEI or anything else. It has mostly just to do with just the fact that it's not very good. Their whole rebrand was just kind of trash. Yeah.
I think it had a lot more to do with the white old man sitting down.
You mean the cracker next to the barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was actually told me everything I needed to know about that restaurant, actually, before I even went in.
Yeah, it's a good restaurant.
No, it's not. It's mediocre at best.
Well, the same reason that, the Bud Light thing, why should we care about it? Well, maybe you shouldn't, but there was a lot of do you care about senior citizens, like older people?
Do I care about them, or do I care what their feelings are about Bud Light?
No, their financial
What
situation.
Are you saying because of Bud Light, they're going to,
No, I'm saying a lot of old people.
It's going to ruin them? Or because they can't go to Cracker Barrel?
No, but these are publicly traded companies. That means that they can have money in there, and that is affecting their 401k.
If you were putting money into Cracker Barrel, then you deserve to lose. Okay? The stock market is a gamble. I think every single website makes that very, very clear. If you had your freaking entire retirement savings in Cracker Barrel, okay, then I'm sorry. You are making very, very bad life decisions. Okay?
Tell me how.
Okay. You probably didn't have any money left. You probably didn't have any money left. Okay, because you probably put it all in Blockbuster.
Cracker Barrel's pretty. No, okay, you're trying to compare two different things, man. Cracker Barrel has a long line of consistency. You know what you were going to get every time you stopped at one. That's why. The stock was what it was. It was good, and then it dropped 40% after this new CEO comes in and tries to rebrand.
It can drop 60%. It can drop 80%. It can drop 100% and go out of business.
Here's the thing, though.
I don't give a fuck, because here's the thing, sir. Sir, are you a socialist?
No, I'm not a socialist.
Then why do you care what the federal government's businesses and private organizations and private companies?
Okay, Cracker Barrel is not the federal government.
No, Cracker Barrel is not the federal government. Cracker Barrel is a private company. And see, when Donald Trump interferes in the businesses of private companies, that's what we call socialism.
No, okay? He just said it was
I'll give you an even better example, right? So what's the definition of socialism?
He bailed them out of bankruptcy. What are you talking about?
So what's the definition of socialism?
Socialism would be whatever. Dude, like what you just explained, that's absolutely not happening because you just phrased it in a way to make it sound
Sir, how about you just answer the question? What is socialism?
It's when the government gets involved in private business.
It's when the people own the means of production. Okay? And what did Donald Trump just do with Intel?
He basically sent a fucking tweet and said that was stupid to do that. You should change it. He gave a person.
I'm sorry, sir. You're trying to listen to respond, not listening for what I said.
He gave a public opinion.
Because, sir, I didn't ask about Cracker Barrel. I asked about a different company, and you didn't even hear me because you were too busy waiting to respond. So I'm going to ask my question again, and this time I advise you listen. Okay? Right. I said, what did Donald Trump just do with Intel?
I don't know.
Oh, he put U.S. tax dollars, okay, to own a certain percentage of Intel. The U.S. government and taxpayers. Sir, whether it's smart or not, do you know what that's called?
It's not socialism.
It is 100% socialism. Your tax dollars, okay, now are in control. So therefore, the people of the United States are now in control, okay, of a part of a private company, Intel. That is the people owning the means of production. That is literally the definition of socialism.
So if Trump takes the Federal Reserve money and buys into Bitcoin like he says he's going to, do you call that socialism?
Is Bitcoin a private company?
Well, no, it's a cryptocurrency.
Then no.
Well, okay, so explain the post office then.
It's the post office is a social program. That's easy. So is the police department. So is the fire department. Okay, the post office. All of those things are actually social programs, right?
Those are state funded. Those are state, not federal. Sit down.
Yeah, you can have social programs that are state, sir. They don't all have to be federal. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not when it says the people when it says the people own when it says the people own the means of production, it doesn't say but only if it's federal and not when it's state.
What's a social program that's federal except for the Department of Veterans Affairs? Please tell me.
Social Security.
Okay, other than that, obviously.
The FBI, the military.
I said a social program.
Besides which two? Besides Veterans Affairs and Medicaid.
Okay.
SNAP.
Okay.
Medicare.
Okay. Who's been advocating to get rid of those? Who's been advocating to get rid of those?
Donald Trump actually specifically got on television and said he wasn't getting rid of Medicaid and Medicare. He said he wasn't touching it.
But no, which party has advocated to get rid of those?
Oh, the Republicans, yeah.
Okay, there you go. They're great. We're trying to get as far away as we can.
But I'm not talking about the Republicans. I'm talking about Donald Trump, who literally just took public ownership of a private organization, literally creating the textbook definition for socialism in this country.
No, he didn't. Oh my God, this is bullshit.
Yeah, actually, before that, I believe he did it with like another company, like a chip company. I don't even remember which one it was. Yeah, before Intel. But now he just took 10% stock in Intel too.
Whose money is he using? Is that from the Federal Reserve? No,
that would be our tax dollars.
Where's the Federal Reserve made up of? Holy shit, dude! Who am I talking to right now? Is this a joke?
Who is the Federal Reserve made up of?
Yeah, where's the money come from? The Federal Reserve.
Well, actually, the Federal Reserve has the ability to print money, so it doesn't come from anywhere.
Oh my God!
If you create something, where does that come from? Yeah, your taxpayer dollars. Okay. And what's in the Federal Reserve are two different things. You do know that the Federal Reserve is also a private organization, right? Well, they're a partially private, partially public organization.
Yeah, I am in my bathroom. Whoever said that. What's it to you? I just got done shaving. Is that a problem? Anyway, yeah. So,
and yes, he means
the
his
Federal
legs.
Reserve does other things besides print money, right?
Yeah. They do quite a few different things, but none of them are advocating, or none of those are appropriating tax dollars.
None of them. None of the money in the Federal Reserve comes from
Correct. The Federal Reserve has zero ability to appropriate tax funds. Correct.
That's not true, but I'm gonna hold up.
Well, then you should read this really cool thing called the Constitution. Because the Constitution tells you who has the ability to appropriate money, funds in this country, appropriate tax dollars in this country. Who are the only people who are allowed to appropriate tax dollars in this country?
Okay, I'm thinking of the Treasury Department.
And now the Treasury Department is part of the government. That is very correct. Okay. But the Federal Reserve is not. The Federal Reserve's main job is actually to lend money to banks.
Yeah, the Reserve, because that's who makes the rates. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree. And that's something I was going to ask you. Do you think that Trump's leading us towards inflation like Goldman Sachs said last week?
Of course he is.
Okay, then let me ask you, why has the Fed not raised the rates? Why have economists said that they've actually proposed a decrease?
Not economists said that, they said that.
Yeah,
The Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, said that a decrease is on the table because they don't just take inflation. There are many different things that they put into play when it comes to deciding the federal interest rate. It's not simply just what is the inflation rate and then they decide the interest rate off of that. That you wouldn't need a giant board of people to be able to do that. You would just need one person who says what the interest rate is, and then one person who says what the interest rate is based off of that.
Can we agree though? In like the last forever, anytime this country was heading towards a recession or inflation was getting out of control, what is the first thing the feds did?
Yeah, but inflation, no, they raise interest rates. Sorry to make sure I want to answer your question. Right?
Yeah.
But we're not
They weren't proposing to reduce them.
Right, but we're not at a high raise in inflation rate yet, like super high.
We're doing good, right? It's good, right?
It's about stagnant. I think the last month it was 2.7%.
Well, I respect you for that because at least you're not sitting here saying that inflation's it's out of control like everybody else is.
No, it's not out of control yet. I mean, we do have major corporations in the United States, Walmart, Target, Amazon, all of their CFOs saying that they are going to have to raise prices significantly if these tariffs continue at the exact same rate they're going to, because they're running out of stock from all the things they bought overseas, when the tariffs were first announced, and they're going to have to push that onto the consumer. And once that's pushed onto the consumer, then that means the inflation rate will rise. And when if the tariffs continue and that inflation rate rises, then I can't possibly see an interest rate drop. And if they do drop the interest rate, that will not be a good thing.
Yeah. No. Remember what company was it I read the other day? Kroger's CEO admitted to actually raising prices ahead of the tariffs. Did you read that?
Kroger admitted to raising prices during COVID.
Yeah, but I mean, that was like, it's very hard to be able to get like into whatever. A lot of the other places are going to follow suit too. Companies raising prices. I think it's really just a typical form of price gouging to see how high they can.
No, Kroger literally admitted to price gouging. They literally said, we price gouged. Like they literally admitted to it.
They all do, dude.
Yeah, but you brought up Kroger, and Kroger didn't, you can say they all do, and I agree with you that they all do.
I don't shop at
Kroger came out and just fucking admitted it.
Yeah, I don't shop at Kroger.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that, Walmart and Target, they're not doing the same thing. I mean, they are doing the same thing. I shop there still because I don't really have many other options where I live, right? It's like Walmart, Target, or Kroger, Publix, whatever, but they all price gouge.
There is some level of price gouging that goes on, especially in certain situations, and there's laws against that. Most grocery stores honestly don't have that big of margins in order to be able to price gouge, but there are certain spots of price gouging within them. And like I said, when we're talking about Kroger, they admitted to it. So, but hey, this is one of the reasons why I supported Kamala Harris when it came to the election, because she actually specifically addressed that, that price gouging was a problem. She specifically addressed that she wanted to fix that. So she wanted to go after them like the same way she went after, predatory banks and pharmaceutical companies, right? That price gouging is an issue. Is it the whole issue? No. It's not the whole issue. Inflation was caused by many, many different things. You know what I'm saying? But price gouging was one of them.
You know how the entire country got together?
Nope.
The past couple months to peacefully protest against what Trump was doing as far as the immigration, ICE and things like that. We saw an uproar like nothing ever before. The alignment from everybody. What if everybody could just boycott fucking all of these major corporations for 30 days? If everybody had the same alignment for getting out there in the middle of a work day and bitching and fucking burning shit in the street and starting riots, if they had the same alignment to do that as they did to just get on board with boycotting these major corporations.
They just did that with Target. Target lost their ass.
Okay, it's time to do all of them.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, we don't have the ability to stop buying everything from everyone. Okay. Because people still need to do things like eat. Okay.
Sure you do.
So we don't have the ability to boycott everything for every single one, right? Sometimes it's more about picking your battles, right? It's not about just swinging for the fences every single time. It's about actually, being conscious of your battles and picking your battles and hitting where it needs to be hit.
I think the reason that it was so much more attractive for them to go protest for 2 weeks straight during 14 days straight was because they didn't have a job to get to. So it's like, well, I'm not really losing out or anything like this anyway. The whole grocery thing is like, if they have groceries, then they're considered like, oh, this is the W right now. I guarantee you half those people out there protesting didn't have jobs, and if they did, then
you don't know that.
Then what's the excuse
people
for not
tell me
protesting?
every single day I don't have a job. So
What do you do? What do you do? Content creation?
Nope. I have a full-time job. This is why I get on at 7 at night, because I work all day.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, if you post TikTok and you do this pretty often, then you can call it a job. If you're making,
I mean,
money
it is
from
a kind of like a side job, yes, but it's not my job, right? People say, "Oh, you're just some unemployed career." No, I'm not. I work every single day. I wish I did this full time. That would be so much better, but I don't have that ability.
I didn't assume you were unemployed.
Well, I'm just saying the same way that people assume
different.
that. What I'm saying is the same way that people assume I'm unemployed. You're assuming that because people were protesting, they're unemployed. Okay,
Well,
and that's
I mean,
what I'm
didn't-
saying.
I didn't catch you at the tail end of an interview saying, "Yeah, I've been out here for 2 weeks straight. I'm going to stay here as long as I need to."
What if they
It's like,
own?
dude,
What if they
people
own
in
their
the
own?
real world can't fucking do that.
What if he owned his own? What if they own their own business and they had the ability to take the time off because they work for themselves?
Bro, this dude couldn't even afford a haircut. Like, you're not going to tell me that he owned his own business. Come on now.
Maybe people just didn't want to get a haircut. You want to see my hair right now? My hair's a freaking mess. I need a haircut like hell.
The dude looked homeless, bro. But whatever.
Anyways, I don't know where we're at with this conversation anymore.
I don't know either.
So I'm going to go ahead and drop you down and move on to the next person, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me come up.
I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one. All right, y'all. We're about to move on to the next person. You know what? Couple things. One, like I said, I've been going through some personal shit the last couple days. So if I'm a little short or a little off, I do apologize, okay? So, but I think we handled that first guest all right. But y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate Daryl, thank you so much for the $15 over on Cash App. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Like I said, y'all, I do really appreciate you guys right now. I am things are a little rougher right now than normal. So I appreciate your guys' support just a little bit more than normal today. But I do really, really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much. If you do have the ability to support the live, like I said, like today is a great day to do it. Very, very helpful to well, because I got some shit going on right now. And I could really, really use it. So I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And Tara, thank you so much for the $100 over on Venmo. It's a little something for you in hopes that things get better for you soon. We all love you. Thank you so much, Tara. Big W's in the chat for Tara. I really, really appreciate that. That really, really means a lot. Like I said, like just been a lot rough last 48 hours. Okay. But I do really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Shay, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I really, really do appreciate that. There's very, very sweet. Thank you so much. Said, love you. Support. You have my support. Thank you so much, Shay, for that huge $50 super chat. And VJ, thank you so much towards some better days. I really, really appreciate that also, VJ. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat over there too. Big W's in chat for everybody who support. If you guys do have it in your heart and the ability to support the live, I do really, really appreciate y'all. And it would be, it'd be very, very sweet of you if you guys could do that. I would really, really appreciate y'all. Cause yeah, would really, really mean a lot to me today. Would really, really mean a lot to me today. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna sit in here and beg, but I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. You guys are very, very awesome. All right, let's open up these phone lines. Let's keep this thing going. Hosewater, I see your bit. Actually, while we're waiting for somebody to join to call in, okay, I will address this, Hosewater. Thank you so much for the bits. I really, really appreciate that. I said, hey, Paul, just curious on what you think of trans men in women's sports. Well, they would be trans women in women's sports. So let's start there, right? It'd be trans women that are in women's sports, not trans men, right? And secondarily, I think that hello, guest, are you there?
Hey, Paulie, what's going on?
All right, hold on real quick. First of all, it'd be trans women that are in women's sports, so that's the difference, right? But second of all, okay, I think the sports have the ability to regulate themselves without the federal government coming in. If there was ever a point where the parity in sports became jeopardized due to trans people, the sports would be able to regulate themselves. Okay? And the federal government does not need to get involved in that in order for a sport to regulate themselves. The same way that the federal government doesn't need to get involved in what's a catch in the NFL, okay, or any other type of other regulatory thing that would make games unfair, right? They do that on their own. The federal government doesn't need to be a part of that. So that's the way I feel about it, truthfully, and that's just kind of my stance on it. So hopefully that answers the question. Anyways, hello, how are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. Hey, I was calling in about why I support Trump.
Awesome. So you do support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Well, not really awesome. Honestly, just kind of weird, but I guess that's fine.
That's fine. The reason why, and I'm curious to know why you don't, is twofold. The first is because no president before Donald has actually given two thoughts to what Americans want for domestic policy in the executive branch. Most presidents that I've seen in my lifetime are completely focused on Israel and foreign policy. Not to say that Donald Trump isn't focused on Israel. We all are pretty attuned to what's happening there, but more that he's bringing focus to what needs to happen domestically. And taking control. Like a great example for current events is what he's doing with DC. A lot of the civilians in DC have been complaining about the crime there for a lot of years. And then we see Operation Mockingbird take control and say, oh, the crime hasn't been there. It's a 30-year low. It's a 30-year low. It's a 30-year low. And you see that from the news about Washington, D.C., but the civilians are really saying they need help there.
No, they're not.
Do I agree with the federalization of the National Guard? That's
Hold on.
not really
who's
something.
saying they need help there?
The people who live there.
No. Like, give me a specific example of somebody who said that they needed help there, because the mayor has very specifically come out and said that they didn't need help there. The chief of police came out there and said they need help. And from every account from any of the residents that actually live in Washington, D.C., they're saying that the places where the crime is not even where the National Guard's at. All right? The places where there's actually crime.
Station? Do you know that fact?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know where the National Guard's stationed?
They're stationed in front of Soul Cycles and Chipotle's and Union Station a lot.
Okay, so
yeah. But that's not where the crime
where
is.
Where should they be stationed?
First of all, they shouldn't be stationed there at all. But if the purpose
so why were they there? Let's back it up a little bit.
Stop asking me questions.
Let's back it up just a little bit, and we're debating this little section here.
No, I'm in the middle of responding to your question, and I'm doing it quite patiently, to be completely honest with you.
I thought we were communicating. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were driving.
You thought wrong. Okay, but maybe thinking isn't your strong suit.
I already said
totally
go
fine,
ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
why are you being aggressive?
I'm not being aggressive. You're just annoying. Okay. I'm sorry I'm sorry if your father was aggressive to you while you were a child or something.
My father's dead. Thank you.
Well, lucky him. Anyways,
you wish you were dead? What's that about?
No, I just wish I didn't have to talk to you like your father. So what I was saying was,
I don't have one. You just saw that.
Right. No, I'm saying he's lucky.
He's lucky he doesn't have to talk to me. So you do. Oh, you're my father. Go ahead, Daddy.
Now you're on point. Anyways, what I was saying was literally freaking where should they be stationed? Well, if they were a law enforcement agency, okay, and if they actually had an ability to actually help crime in the United States, then I would imagine that they would be in places, okay, where crime is the most prevalent, okay, and that's
why are
not
they there though, Daddy?
Again, sir, I'm in the middle of a sentence, okay.
I'm curious to know the context of what you're talking about.
Well,
you can do that to me.
Well, every time I try to give you context, you cut me off.
That's the question.
All right, what was your question? I'll just stop. I'll stop.
I said, why did Trump send them there? Did he just do it
because he likes his
like
show?
It?
Yeah.
That because he felt like it. Where's your source?
No, I didn't. You said because he felt like it. I never said that.
No, I said because
You said
was
because
called
he
for
felt
help.
like it, and I said because he likes a show, and then you're like, oh, because he felt like
What?
it. Where's your source? Like I didn't make a source.
Are we talking about the
It's
same
really,
conversation?
if you want to be completely honest with you,
It's insane.
it's truly just out of the authoritarian playbook. To be completely honest with you, if you want to be real about it.
Yeah, I do want to be real.
Yeah, sure. So 1933, okay, Germany. All right. Hitler sent in the military to the capital city of Berlin. All right, to stop crime and the leftists. All right, he needed to bring them in to stop crime and
It was
the leftists.
the Jews, but yes,
No, it had nothing to do with that. It literally had to do with the fact that he understood.
Hitler didn't kill the Jews.
All right, sir. I am going to finish this sentence, okay? And you're going to be quiet. Perfect. So literally, okay, he brought in the military because he understood the idea that you need to have a militarization of the capital in order to show control over your country, right? Because if you don't show control by militarizing the capital of the country, right, then it doesn't look like then you lose control of the country and you're not allowed to, have your authoritarian playbook played out more, right? Mussolini did a very similar thing in Rome, right? Very, very similar. This is the fascist playbook. It's happened within, dynasties within China and pretty much everywhere where there's been a huge authoritarian, in charge of the government. They have found a way to militarize the capital of the country, and they've always done it based on, okay, crime and the leftists. It's always crime and the leftists, and he's not doing anything different. He's just following the playbook.
Okay. Is it my turn to talk, or are you still doing?
Well, sir, maybe I'll teach you something that your dad didn't. When I'm done talking, now it's your time. Okay? Usually we learn this
That's
in
what I
like
was asking.
kindergarten.
You were done
that's okay.
talking. You were literally done talking, so I was asking. But go ahead if you're still going. Okay, you're done. Great. So why did Hitler do what he did? He said leftist crime. It's actually the Jews controlled the banking system in Germany.
That's not why he militarized Berlin.
It really is.
It's not. He actually this is on recording. He said it was because
Did you read
the
Mein Kampf,
communists.
brother?
No, I would never read such trash.
Why wouldn't you read documents from the guy we're talking about? if
Because
you wanted to
that
debate
book
about
was
it? That's
actually written
It's
prior to
insane.
this.
amazing. Mein Kampf.
Was written prior to his militarization of Berlin.
Do you understand what his struggle was, though?
Sir, that has nothing to do
That's the name of the
with
book.
the militarization of Berlin. Okay? I am not talking about Hitler's ideology. Okay? I am talking about a specific instance of the military taking over the capital of Germany. Okay?
I'm talking about why people do what they do.
Why anyone
my
does
turn
what
to
anything
talk,
does,
Daddy.
people do all
Why are you being
sorts
abusive,
of things
Daddy?
for why they do the things that they do, okay? But I am talking why that
I was
certain
still
person,
talking, but you're just
Well,
over
you asked me a
loading
question,
with
sir.
anger.
Actually, you asked me a few questions.
Well, that's because you interrupted. What I was going to say is, why do people do what they do? Hitler did that. Mussolini was a fascist. I was going to agree with you on that point.
Yeah, no shit.
I haven't actually done too much of research about why he did, because I'm not Italian. I don't have any reason to do that, but I am Armenian Israeli, so I have some reason to think about why he did what he did. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's reasons behind why people in the executive branch do what they do beyond what the mainstream is going to tell you. Everything you know and what I've been taught is a lie. You have to do more research to understand really what's going on. And if you dig and dig and dig, it's because Israel has blackmail on everyone and runs all of the money.
So you're just
That's
super anti-Semitic.
the
That's
end.
that's your entire
No,
thing.
Semitic. Give me the definition of Semitic.
Sir, I'm not playing this. Give me the definition of
I
Semitic
am
bullshit.
Semitic. I already told you this.
No, you
Semitic to
didn't.
anyone from the Middle East. I'm not anti-Semitic.
I know
I'm
what
telling
Semitic
you the
means,
truth.
sir. Oh, so you just hate Jews.
No, I'm
Is that a
married
better
to a
word?
Jewish woman. My children
Oh,
will
okay.
be Jewish.
So you're just
that
a
has
psychopath.
nothing to do with anti-Semitism. It has to do with the state of Israel.
Gotcha.
Do you not know the difference between a Jewish person who's religious and a Jewish person who lives in Israel?
Of course I do, sir.
Do you know that everyone who lives in Israel is basically atheist?
No or care, because that has nothing to do with this conversation.
It does, because they're not religious people in Israel.
Sir,
If
you're
they
the
were, they
only
wouldn't be
one
doing
talking.
the things they're
Sir,
doing.
you're the only one
They have
talking about religion.
blackmail about every politician around the world banging children and control all of the money.
Mm. All right. So you're a
It has
fascist.
nothing to do with Jews. It has to do with Israel.
So you're a fascist, is what you're saying.
I'm a fascist. Tell me how.
Oh, because you're literally, again, just falling directly more into the fascist playbook, where now you're blaming a certain individual group of people for all of the world's problems, right? And you're doing that
No,
based off
I'm
of...
saying that
Sir,
Israel
I'm
controls
talking... Okay, well, yeah, well, I've now muted you, okay? And now I'm very glad I did, okay? Your comments... Oh, you're muted. They can hear me just fine. Just no one can hear your crazy talk anymore, because honestly, like, it's pretty... Oh, he left. Just let you know, he went into slavery and some other really horrible shit during that rant of his. But that's okay. Anyways, y'all, we're going to move on to the next call. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I really, really appreciate y'all. Sorry, I had to take a personal day yesterday. And honestly, I really hope to take a personal day for the rest of the week, because I am having a rough couple days. And so I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Tyron, thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Said, better days around the corner. Keep your head up, Paulie. I am really trying. I am really, really trying. I will tell you that much. It's been going rough, but and honestly, like, Super Chat, that really, really helps me right now. I really do appreciate that. And MKN said, how can they shamelessly talk about crime and yet support Epstein's brother and associate? 100%. I don't know how. I don't know how they can talk about crime while also being a felon. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. I really don't. And Megan, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. I really, really appreciate that. Megan said, best wishes for a better tomorrow. Thanks for the education. I really, really appreciate that, Megan. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for everybody who's supporting the live today. Like I said, I took yesterday off today, and I didn't want to get on today. To be completely honest with you, didn't want to get on today. So I'm just trying to make it through this one. So I hope you all are here. I hope you guys are enjoying the day. And thank you guys so much for the support. It really, really does mean a lot to me. Like I said, especially today more than most days. So I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm actually pretty shitty today, to be completely honest with you. How old are you?
21.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Actually, I don't. I just wanted to be a foil after that retard. Trump.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
This number was on a stream and I got interested.
Yeah, I put it on there for people to call on. It's pretty convenient, huh?
Is it the why do you support Trump stream?
Yep, I think that's it.
All right, cool. It was lagging. It was the face and the voice confused me.
The face and the voice. Why you don't think they match each other or something?
No, it's more like the lip sync. I got confused about streams. You know,
streams are confusing. I will say that much. Yeah,
I've never done this sort of thing before. Why? I wanted to ask, why do you not like Trump?
Because I don't like bad presidents.
2 minutes. I saw the last person. He seems like he was kind of drunk.
Sounded pretty standard to me.
Pretty much for like, I mean, I'm a Trump supporter, and that sounds pretty average to me too.
Yeah. So why do you support Trump?
Funny little orange man, and I like his policies about firearm legislation.
Awesome. So which firearm legislation policy do you like of Donald Trump's?
I like the support in Georgia getting their
No, that's Georgia's. That's Georgia's policy. What policy from Trump do you support?
Oh shit! Now that you said ask me that. I honestly don't know what firearm policies he supported other than trying to kind of get rid of the NRA.
Well, here I can tell you some that he supported. You want to hear them?
Oh yeah, no.
The bump stock ban, that was Donald Trump, right? That was the most restrictive policy on guns in the last 16 years, right? Even though Donald Trump's been the only Republican all 16 of those years, the most restrictive gun policy against guns in this country has been the bump stock ban, and Donald Trump supported that. Donald Trump was also on television saying that hey, we should take guns away from people, and then we should find out if they did crimes later. Right? We shouldn't wait for due process to have its way. We should just go and take it just to be safe, take all of their guns away from them. And then later on, come back and see if they deserve to have them back. Right? Those are the policies that Donald Trump supports. So which one of those two are your favorite?
Bans got put in under Biden's administration, but that might have been a state thing, which is surprising for Georgia.
Yeah, see, states have the ability to put in their own laws when it comes to, within perspective, right? They have their ability to put in their own laws when it comes to guns, right? So saying that you support a president because of what a state does, that doesn't make any sense. You still there, boss?
Huh?
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Did you cut out?
No, I just couldn't hear you.
I was going to say, still can't argue with him being a funny little orange man. That's just kind of silly to have as a president.
You're right. It is pretty silly.
I've given up on American politics for the most part. I'm just interested in seeing how far all of this shit can go.
That's pretty stupid.
I mean, what can I do?
Stand up for what's right.
I mean, I do, but
no, you don't.
Effect is my hometown.
Not only do you not stand up for what's right, but you're literally bragging about not standing up for what's right.
I don't see how I'm bragging about it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he's silly, and he, it's just silly, and I'm just hoping for, this silly policy to continue on. Like, yeah, you're bragging for Donald Trump. See, when you say Donald Trump's silly, here's what you mean, okay? You mean Donald Trump is deporting people to South Sudan, okay? He is sending real human beings with real lives and real families and real children, and he's sending them to a war-torn civil war country, okay, that they've never been to and never came from, okay? When you say he's silly, you are saying that Donald Trump is sending people that committed no crime to a terrorism prison where they experience torture and sexual abuse just as standard. Okay,
I mean, silly, like Willy Wonka.
That's what. No, but see, you mean it as Willy Wonka.
Like somebody frolicking through a field.
Yeah, you say it as Willy Wonka silly, but this is the reality: is that human beings, real human beings, are being hurt at an incredible level under the Trump administration. Okay, so you see it as silly, but real people are being literally hurt, literally being tortured, literally being sexually assaulted, literally having their lives taken away from them, their families taken away from them. Okay? And this is all happening because Trump is being like Willy Wonka and being silly, right?
That's not like it didn't happen in the U.S. under everybody else's.
It did not.
1,500 years administration.
It did not.
I mean, you have the whole out west of the Indians being killed by Americans that were Democratic. You have
the conservatives. You understand that the Democrats were conservatives, right?
Yeah, the Democrats were conservative, and then they switched up in the 40s and 50s, I believe.
It started in like the 1890s, but yeah, it finished up around the 1940s, 1950s. But you're saying conservatives committed a genocide, right?
Everybody's committed a genocide. It doesn't matter what political party you are. It doesn't matter what race you are. Every single group on this earth has committed some sort of genocide, whether it be just one tribe or whether it be a big group of people.
I'll see if it's one tribe, that's not a genocide.
If that's the only people.
What's the definition of a genocide?
It's the extermination of a group of people.
Oh, it doesn't have to be an extermination, right? It's more like picture like ethnic cleansing, right? But a genocide really has more to do with number than it does anything else.
You know what? I kind of switched sides. I might think that you're right. All right. Well, I got some things to think about. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, man. All right. Anyways, Julia, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. Said thank you for all that you do. Take care of yourself. We need you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We'll see. I might not be on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I really haven't decided yet. We'll see. The accent switch was wild though. Y'all, if you guys like to support the live, again, I do have super chats open. I do have all my pay links in my bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. So if you'd like support, I really, really appreciate y'all tonight. Thank you guys so much. Also, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. All right.
It's insane.
Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm going to ask you a question. Can you answer a question, please?
Well, you have to answer my questions first.
Well, I've called before.
First.
I have one or two questions. Just listen, okay, sir?
Awesome. So how old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I told you before. I'm 53. Remember?
No, I don't remember you. I talk to people every night.
Okay, well, listen. This is a question. You claim all these claims, all these claims, all claims. You never have any backup. Now, I want to know if you have a computer there, right?
Yep.
Okay. Pull up where Donald Trump said he wants to get rid of all guns.
He never said that.
You just said that about 2 minutes ago. You said that 2 minutes ago. You said Donald Trump said he wants to get rid of all guns, and then later on find out who deserves them. You said that.
No, I said for criminals, sir, not all guns. He wants to take guns away from people that are accused of crimes.
Well, that's already happened. Felons don't get guns.
No, sir. Before they're convicted. Felons don't. Okay. Felons don't get guns. That's why Donald Trump can't have one. Because he's a felon.
Can you pull that clip up where he said that?
I probably could, or you could just, use your phone for what it was made to be used for. I would like
you to back up some of the claims you make, because your claims are false, lies, and untrue.
Sir. Well, if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. For everybody else that's in here, okay, the couple, almost, like 1,600 people or so between the lines that are here, they can just, they can just use their phones. Okay, and then
I'm asking you to prove what you're saying is true, because I'm calling you out.
Is that all? Okay, then call me a liar, sir. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Because you know you are, and you can't prove that you're not.
Okay.
Please prove it for once that you're telling the truth about one damn thing.
Yeah, no, there's there's no way I could prove that. It's just absolutely impossible. Yeah, no, there's no way I could do that. That would just be crazy. Also,
have you ever heard "Don't make a claim if you can't back it up"?
No, I've never heard that before. What does it say?
What?
No, I've never heard that. What? How does it go?
It goes if you can't, don't let your small mouth override your big ass.
I have a large mouth and a big ass, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, well, sir, you may throw all these claims out there. You're as bad as CNN. You're fake news. You're fake. So you have no sources to proving your stuff, and you make fake claims. And you're trying to make all the MAGA people believe that Donald Trump is bad, and he's not bad. We all know that. Everybody talks to him. Pretty much everybody talks to is a Trump supporter.
Yes, go ahead, Mike.
It's like, I'm not going to change your views, and you're not going to change all the Trump supporters. So, I mean, you're just doing this for money and doing it for clicks, doing it for fame and fortune.
I think
you ain't ever going to get
with
like
governors
$1 million or $10
earlier this
million
week,
subscribers.
individually,
You know that.
and as a group,
Mr. Beat the politics, whatever.
about states
So,
taking steps.
I mean,
The
if you
focus
could just
is
tell the truth,
to literally
buddy.
give families
You know what I mean?
and give local law enforcement additional tools if an individual is
Hello?
reported to be
Oh,
a
yeah,
potential
sorry.
danger to themselves
Oh,
or
sorry.
others. Allow due process.
See, that's
no one's
rude right
rights
there.
are
You'll
trampled.
never make it.
But the ability to
You
go
never
to
become a
court,
CNN host.
obtain an order,
You don't
and
know
then
how to
collect not
be
only the firearms, but
racist
any
and
weapons.
maybe you're wrong
in
about
the
something.
possession
You
of
don't know
that
how to
individual.
take the
humble yourself
firearms
and say, hey,
first
I don't know all
and
the
then go to
answers.
court.
This is my
Because that's
opinion,
another
but I don't
system.
know
Because a
nothing.
lot
Really
of
kind
times
of
by
look
the
it up.
time you
I
go to
don't
court, it takes
back
so
up my
long to go
statement
to
with
court
sources.
to
You have
get
no
the due
sources, do you?
process procedures. I like.
Any weapons in the possession
Or
of that
Mike,
individual.
Did you
take the
mute me, buddy? I'm
firearms
just, I'm not
first
cussing
and
you out
then
or
go
nothing.
to
I'm being
court.
very
Because
polite.
that's another system. Because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court
Go ahead
to
and
get
talk.
the
I'll
due
be-
process procedures.
No,
like
I didn't
taking
mute you.
the
You're
guns
still here.
early, like in this crazy
Okay, go
man's
ahead and talk.
case
Respond
that
to me,
just took
please.
place in Florida.
I'm sorry. What was
He had a
that?
lot of firearms. They saw everything.
You can respond. I'll be quiet now.
What would you like?
Mike,
individual.
take the firearms first
I want to
and
know
then
your
go to
sources for all
court.
the
Because
crap
that's
you
another
were trying to
system.
say.
Because
I'm sorry.
You
What
have
was the
to-
question? I'm sorry. Sorry. I kind of lost myself when you were like telling me how like I could never prove any of my claims, and like I truly agree with you that there's no way I could approve anything. So, sorry. What were you asking me to say?
What are your sources? Where do you get your information from?
Where do I get? Well, I mean, it depends on the information. Like for what specifically?
What I just said. You said he's trying to take away people's guns.
Okay, hold on. Let me think about it real quick.
In the possession
Or
of that
Mike,
individual.
take the firearms first and then go to court. Because that's another system. Because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get
Everybody,
the
he
due
doesn't know nothing. He's
Yeah,
not
you're
giving
right.
guys
Sorry. No, I was trying to remember where I heard that source from, and I was just like, I think I was just kind of blanking, to be completely honest with
Everybody,
you.
don't give this guy time. He makes up false claims and he doesn't back them up.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. You know what?
You can't be,
I'm not even sure if I've heard it before, to be completely
you
honest
can't
with
be
you.
trusted, sir.
Yeah,
What's your
I
name?
can't be trusted. I can't be trusted. You're right.
You can't. And people are throwing money at you left and right, and you're trying to scam people out of money.
I'm not trying to scam you. I mean, if people would like to donate to my live, I really, really appreciate it. Honestly, had a really rough couple days. You know what I'm saying? And could it'd be really
What's
nice.
so rough about
But
a couple of days?
well, you know what, sir? Like,
I,
I just be honest. But like, it just saying. Like, I think that what's really true is that you're right. Right? Like, I don't think that there's any way I could possibly prove that Donald Trump said like that we should take people's guns away and then they can go to court.
Take the firearms first and then go to court.
Yeah, there's no way we could say that like he said like take the firearms first and then we go to court, right? That he wanted to take firearms away from people before, due process had happened. I don't
if
think
you're talking about,
I just don't think there's a way that I could prove that ever.
Any weapons in
Yeah.
the
if you're
possession of
talking
that
about
individual.
red flag
the
laws, we've
firearms
been in
first
for a long
and then
time.
go to court. Because
But
that's
everybody
another
wants to go to
system.
Road
Because a
Channel.
lot
Come to Super Trump 2024. That's my channel.
Yeah, you tell them all about it, man.
It's insane.
Come on, you two, come watch my videos. Super Trump 2024.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
saying
you
20
nailed it. You nailed it.
I'm just telling everybody that want a real channel with real truth, come on over.
All right, cool, man. Sounds good.
Sure, thanks.
Yep, later. You guys have no idea how much I needed that today. Oh my fucking god. I needed a fucking laugh today. I needed a fucking laugh today. God, fucking shit, dude. Oh, goodness gracious. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button. I really appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I needed that laugh so bad, dude. I needed that laugh so bad. I'm sorry. I don't know how I held that in. Oh, I swore I saw something over here. Y'all, if you guys would like to support the channel, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I do have all my pay links, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal in my bio. So if you'd like to support, like I said, today is a really great day to support. Could really use it. Just being truthful. So if you guys like support, I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. Queen V, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, you may not control all of the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Maya Angelou. Did I already pronounce it right? Maya Angelou. Sending you hugs. Keep at it. You make an impact every day in ways you don't see. Thank you so much, Queen V. I really, really appreciate that. That really does mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Tex, I appreciate that. I can't prove here on YouTube from Super Chats. America, people support Trump administration on all policies, immigration, tariffs, and more. Tunesville. I'm not even 100% sure like what we're seeing there, but I do really appreciate the $5 super chat. I really do. Thank you so much. Lady, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Tobin said, hope this makes your day better. Oh my God, with the $100 super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Tobin. Holy shit for the $100 super chat. That is absolutely big, just massive, massive W's in the chat for Tobin over here with the $100 super chat. Coming in when I truly super do need it. When I really do like super need the support. So I really, really appreciate that. Huge W's in the chat for Tobin. Hope this makes your day better. Also, maggots need to learn how to listen to other people than the orange clown and his glazers. 100%. Thank you so much. That is just absolutely huge. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Tobin. That is absolutely huge. Man, you guys are God. Ugh. I really, really appreciate today. Like, really. Tex said, thanks, Trump administration, for everything. I appreciate that. I'm going to leave this up. Tobin, thank you so much. That is just absolutely huge and just so meaningful to me right now. It is, it's been rough lately. Danielle, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. It says, hope your day gets better. I hope so too. I really, really do. I really appreciate that. Big W's for Tobin, especially, and everybody who sent a donation over. If you guys would like to support, I really do appreciate it today. Okay. It is, it means a lot. Okay. So thank you guys so much. And Crystal, thank you so much for the $10 on Cash App. So thank you for doing the Lord's work. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like, really, I do. Crystal, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello. Oh shoot, I didn't answer first. See, I'm just, you guys are, I don't know. I feel like I'm like in a daze right now. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't slept much. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm below average, to be honest with you. How old are you?
30.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
No. Like on purpose?
Kind of like you did when you rewind that clip only to the part to where you cut off the whole beginning, when he's not explaining that they're only going to take over guns from people that are mentally unstable for themselves and they're a threat for themselves, that there would be due diligence and actions before the guns were taken away, that it's just they're not taking.
Okay, let's play the whole video then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not watching, so
that's fine. You can just hang out. That's fine. I'll play it for everybody.
Is there any way where I can hear it while you play
Well,
it?
I mean, you already explained it very intensively, right? So like you really shouldn't need to hear it, because you should be able to just, just hang out for a second so we can talk about it, and we'll see if your claim is correct or not. Sound good?
Yeah. Any points that he says, though?
No, it's playing.
Vice President, state of Indiana has done a good job.
You can repeat it verbatim.
Yeah.
Well, in the category, you've spoken about it, Mr. President, gun violence restraining orders. They're called. California actually has a version of this, and I think in your meeting with governors earlier this week, individually and as a group, we spoke about states taking steps. But the focus is to literally give families and give local law enforcement additional tools if an individual is reported to be a potential danger to themselves or others. Allow due process so no one's rights are trampled, but the ability to go to court, obtain an order, and then collect not only the firearms but any weapons in the possession
Or
of that
might
individual.
take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times, by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process.
Yeah, we just watched the whole video. None of what you just said exists in that video at all, actually. Actually, he was asked a very, very direct question, okay, where Mike Pence even leads him into it, actually tries to help him. Mike Pence says, hey, when we have people that are, like crazy or like in like that, or, could be a harm to themselves or others, right?
Correct.
We should, take them to court, get a, injunction against them in court, right?
We'll take the guns first and then go to court.
Right. And he says, no, if we have an idea that someone might be a threat to themselves or others, we should take the guns first and then go to court.
Yeah, I don't think any Republican should be against that.
Really? Because I've been doing this for almost 2 years, and every single, and I mean every, Trump supporter or Republican that I've talked to about gun rights has been against that, because those are what in things called like red flag laws, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and
that's
almost everybody that is like super 2A. And if you want me to be completely honest with you, to be like fully honest with you, I don't disagree with Trump.
Right.
I don't disagree with Trump at all. If somebody has a possibility of being a threat to themselves or others, we should take their firearms away from them. 100%. Okay? But see, I agree with things like, like red flag laws. I agree with things like, common sense gun laws. Okay? And people that agree with that stuff agree with Trump's statement. Okay, but the people that are that usually come up here and debate me on 2A and say, and like that last guy, they don't agree with that.
Yeah, no, I heard him. That's why I kind of wanted to call in after, because
if you agree with that, that's great, man. That's fine. Like, honestly, there should be safeguards in place, right, to make sure the system isn't abused. All right, but no, 100%, I agree that if we have somebody that is a danger to themselves or danger to others, we shouldn't wait until a crime is committed in order to make sure that we are able to restrict firearms in this country.
Yeah, I agree. And in Texas, man, it's a little loose to where you can even lie about it, and they don't even do a doctor's background check to see if you are prescribed things that you say that you're not prescribed on the gun laws, like on the background check. And I just know that because I'm a gun owner. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I thought that was a little
Can
weird.
I say one thing while you're on here? And this isn't even like directed at you, but I do need to say this while I'm on live today. First of all, I am very, very sorry for the families in Minneapolis. Okay. For the people who lost their lives in that shooting today. Okay.
1,000%.
And I also want to be very, very clear to anybody who even thinks about saying this. Okay. You can take your thoughts and prayers and go fuck yourself with them. Okay. You can take your thoughts and fucking prayers and you can fuck all the way the fuck off. Okay. Because you want to talk about where the prayers were? It was a fucking Catholic school. Children are dying in this fucking country right fucking now. People are dying in this country because we cannot have the correct gun laws in this fucking country. So you and your thoughts and prayers can fuck all the way the fuck off. There should not be a singular child.
You know what I mean?
There should not be a single child that has to go to school in fear due to gun violence in this country. Period. Fucking point blank. Go fuck yourself with that. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah,
again, that wasn't directed at you, but that needed to come off. Okay, I needed to get that off my chest today.
No, I feel you. And I mean, honestly, that's one of those things where the people that truly understand the economic system, economics, however you want to pronounce it, I think they understand that there are a lot of hangups that Trump has. I don't know. I feel like under the last presidency, we had a stronger economy, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not fact-checking or anything like that. This time around, it seems a little bit more theatrical, which I think politics is that. But I think it's really made people like you and I not even be able sometimes to even have a cordial conversation, which we are, thank God, because some of the lunatic comments that are made from both sides, honestly, like, because I've been to places where Democrats are collecting or Republicans are collecting, and I've seen the good side of both and I've seen the bad side of both, and it's pretty sad, man. But I think like I don't think it's in the sense of you shouldn't be like go fuck yourself, because I mean think about the Catholic Church. Like, I'm a believer in Jesus, 1,000%, but the Catholic Church, man, they have a history of pedophilia, and I hate the word religion. I just like the word of God. You know, it's been translated and changed through these 2,000 years. If you go to the Aramaic context and the original writing of it, I mean, that's why man made religion, to control. You know what I mean? So with the Catholic Church, it's weird that this is another Catholic school. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the last one in Nashville, wasn't that a Catholic school?
I believe so, yeah.
So,
I'm not.
I mean,
don't like quote me on it, but yeah, I believe it was.
No, I feel you. Yeah, I'm the same way. I try not to keep up with too much of it. And then my dad called me today, and he's like, you see it. And it was really honestly one of the reasons why we took our son out of school and we put him in homeschool, just because I'm kind of scared of what's going on out there. And I can't control him from everything, but as long as I can, you know, I'm going to try to at least keep him in a safe environment. But I appreciate the cordial conversation with you, man. And just wanted you to know that we all don't see differently. Some of us, I mean, I agree with a lot of things that you say, and there's a lot of callers that call in and they misrepresent what they should be representing. They don't even seem like human beings. They want to get on here and talk shit. So, yeah, I mean, we're all about having opinions. I think that's the beauty of America. We're allowed to. But at the same time, I think we should be able to see each other's sides of it. And as long as you're doing content like that, supporter of you, man.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, all right?
You too, brother.
Oh, shoot. I thought it was done. All right, y'all. We're going to hit a couple super chats. Just one, actually. Mr. 30 said, are you single? You mad handsome even when tired? Wow. I mean, I feel a little glazed up right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. Damn. If I'm this tired and honestly like this, just like out of it right now, and you still think I look good, then like, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. And Shane, thank you so much for the gifted. I really appreciate that also. Thank you so much, Shane. All right, y'all. We're gonna move on to the next caller. I appreciate that. Honestly, do I even want to move on to the next caller?
It's insane.
All right. Yeah, we'll take another caller. Sorry. Danielle, thank you so much for the the $10 on Venmo. I really, really appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 18.
I do not believe you. Hello, how are you?
Pretty good.
It's insane.
How old are you? How old are you?
41.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why's that?
It's insane.
Why is that?
Yes. Why do you support Trump?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, big supporter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just sorry, my other MAGA hat was in the wash.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell.
All right. Guess we're gonna move on to the next person. Someone said check Venmo. I don't see anything in Venmo. All right, phone lines are back open. Let's keep this thing going. I appreciate y'all. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I've been better. Do you support Trump?
I support him as a lesser evil.
Yeah. God, I hate that. That was stupid.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's just stupid because I'm not asking you about comparing him to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's true. I'm asking if you support Trump. Trump is the president. Trump's not running for election against anybody. Trump is not against anybody in any way, shape, or form. It's just Trump as the president. Do you support what he's doing or not?
Someone. I would say someone. Pretty mixed.
Well, I mean, then why do you support him? Like,
I'd say mainly on his stance against abortion.
His stance against abortion? The guy who's probably paid for more abortions than you and I could ever even think of? The guy who literally switched his abortion stance 3 times in one fucking week when it came to Florida?
Yeah, sure. So in terms of the stat against him paying for most abortions, I'm not sure if I completely agree with that due to him defunding most abortion clinics or support. Otherwise, I mainly support him, honestly, as a lesser of two evils, because both have come out in support.
What do you mean he's defunding abortion clinics? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so he actually
Sabrina,
came out and
yes,
said,
I got
like,
both of
hey,
them. Thank you.
Especially sorry?
No, sorry. I was talking to somebody. Somebody on the chat asked if I got their first Venmo, and I did. Thank you so much, Sabrina. I did. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, honestly, there actually is an executive order prohibiting federal taxpayer dollars to fund elective abortions.
Cool, man. Maybe he should sign an executive order making murder illegal next.
Maybe. I don't know. But that's pretty much why.
Sir, it's already illegal to use federal tax dollars to fund abortions.
Yeah, that was through an actual executive order by him.
No, the Hyde Amendment from a long time ago already stops that from happening. Donald Trump's executive order is literally just repeating a law that's already on the books. $0 are being spent on abortions from federal tax dollars because it's illegal. Okay? Not a singular dollar has been spent since the Hyde Amendment was passed, which I don't even know how many decades ago that was now. Not a single dollar has been spent on abortions from federal tax dollars. Not a single one.
Even though President Biden had promised to remove that ban on...
Remove what ban?
On the Hyde Amendment.
When was the Hyde Amendment passed?
Hyde Amendment.
And can you please tell me a reference on when Joe Biden said he was going to remove the Hyde Amendment? Because I followed him very, very closely, and I never heard him say that one time.
Yeah, that's about like 2021, 2022.
2021, 2022. You have a reference for that?
Yeah, I think NPR actually published an article about it.
All right, let's see. NPR, let's take a look. NPR, Biden Hyde Amendment. Let's see. I mean, I agree with it, but I don't remember him doing it. Let's see. Biden's budget proposal reverses a decades-long ban on abortion funding. Let's see.
That was my concern is a vote for Kamala Harris would have fulfilled.
Yeah, and when did Kamala Harris say that she was going to do that?
Yeah, actually, there's been numerous instances where she's been pro-abortion. So more so than Donald Trump.
Yeah, so this rule literally would have just taken away federal funding it would have included federal funding for exceptions. That's all that was going to do. So it was literally in the cases of rape, incest, or to save a pregnant woman's life, it would have allowed for federal funding.
I think that's always been the case, though, is if it was for the woman's health, then it was still legal both ways, regardless of who you voted for.
So gotcha. So you didn't vote for Trump because Harris, who never said anything about this whatsoever, you think would have done something that she never spoke on at all?
Yeah, most of her campaign promises were to expand pro-abortion means.
Really?
Yeah.
Most of her campaign.
I wouldn't say most of her campaign, but
you
there were
just
tenets
did,
of her
though.
campaign that were hoping to enact federal legislation to allow more pro-abortion.
No, it's just to legalize a woman's ability to choose in this country.
Well, which I disagree with.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's not surprising.
personally think that
Most people
abortion
that
is
support Trump don't believe that women should have the right to choose anything.
I wouldn't say anything. I think that's
just
a
what you
pretty
choose, that
generalized-
what you decide that they can choose.
No, I think it's mainly a generalized statement saying that, hey, removing all right to choose. But I'd say overall, in terms of abortion, I think it's a grave moral evil.
And how is it a grave moral evil?
Life begins at conception.
According
and
to who?
killing a human life. According to all of creation, according to science, the minute that an embryo and a sperm combine, that is when it starts to grow.
Yeah, you have
That-
cellular life.
No, I disagree.
No. You said
Bro,
science. I'm not asking what you agree with. According to science, you have cellular life. Okay, you have cellular life of human origin. Okay, you know what else has cellular life of human origin?
Sure.
Cancer.
Correct.
So should we
However,
not be
I
able
don't
to remove cancer and effectively kill, that human life?
Is the end state of cancer a baby being born?
I'm not asking about the end state. What the end state is has nothing to do with the current state of being. If I have a pile of wood, could it become a house?
Sure. If someone
Is it a house?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so not at the moment. So at the moment, okay, it is simply just human DNA in an embryonic cell that is a life form, just like cancer. Okay, and the end state of the majority of conception, right? When eggs are or are fertilized, the majority of those never become human lives whatsoever.
So couple of statements here. So if it has human parents, is it not human?
If it had human parents, is it not human?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's not human because it's not human.
embryo,
What is
child,
human?
If a child in it,
No,
well,
what?
so that's,
No,
that's
wait,
when we step
it's level set.
that's
What
when
is
we step
human?
past the scientific, and that's when we enter into the
What is human?
theological
That's what I'm asking you. What is human?
Humans are a species on the planet that have a consciousness and are created.
Gotcha. Awesome. So it's not human until it has a consciousness. Perfect. So therefore, you've already destroyed your entire argument saying that life begins at conception, because at conception, you don't have a consciousness. Actually, most, scientists, and since you want to bring up scientists, say that consciousness happens somewhere between 20 and 24 weeks, which at that point, I'll agree with that scientific, measure on that. So what you're saying is that prior to 20 weeks, there is no chance of consciousness. So therefore, it is not human. So you are totally okay with abortions prior to that because it's not a human life.
No, I absolutely disagree. I think any.
So now you're
embryo
changing your stance on what's
is-
human.
No, absolutely not.
So what
any
is
state of
human?
an embryo and a fetus is a human.
So what is
regardless
human?
Of, there is no other changes. That's like saying, hey, the end state of every piece of wood is a house. That's not true for the house. So that
Right. And
argument
the end state of every
works.
embryo that's fertilized is not a human. So it's not a human.
How so?
Because
Is the end state not
70% of fertilized embryos never implant or become human.
How so? If it's not growing, if it is growing, then it is alive. Then it is human.
Sir,
because
where
the
everything
end
is always growing. Okay, your skin is constantly growing and creating new human cells all the way across it. Okay, you can literally, if you want to put that in, then we should make masturbation illegal, because technically those are human life cells that are growing.
What? Masturbation is human because cells are growing?
According to you. Is that
No,
not
that's
human DNA?
not how- I'm not. Masturbation is an act. It's not a bodily.
I'm sorry. Would you like me to be more freaking clear with you? I'm sorry. When you freaking let one off, dude, into a tissue or sock or whatever you fucking do it in, right? All of those are human cells that are growing, so we should make that illegal, right?
Honestly, I'm personally against abortion, but when a
I'm
sperm
not
is
talking about
combined-
abortion. I'm talking about masturbation. So you're against it, right?
Yeah, I'm against masturbation. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we should make that illegal.
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that's
Why not?
killing a human being. How is it killing a human being that has been combined with?
Because
an
you're defining a human being as a human cell, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is growing. And therefore, every single time that happens, every time someone masturbates, that is another human cell that was growing that is now discarded, right? And so
No,
therefore,
it's not
you know,
combining.
it should be that could be thousands of, you know, every you know, teenage boy is just doing thousands of murders every day.
Sperm isn't being combined with an embryo, so it's not a murder.
No, but you didn't define human life as that. Are you going to
I-
again for the second time
I-
change your definition of human life?
I haven't changed my definition.
You've changed
once.
it
I've always
twice.
said that human life is the combination of an embryo that is at conception.
No, actually, you said it was conscious first. So you
I-
already
you
changed it.
asked me to
So
define what a
you're
human-
again, sir, if you're saying that it's just human life because it is a living cell because you wanted to reference science, the combination of a sperm and an egg to create a fertilized egg is a singular cellular human life, right? Just like a zygote. It is a zygote. That's what it is, right? It is a singular cellular human cell, okay, with its own DNA. Okay? So is cancer. So therefore, you should think, based off of your definition of human life, that we should not be able to remove cancer from somebody, okay? Because it is singular, it is multiple human cells that have the ability to have their own human life. Or, sorry, be their own human DNA.
The end state of cancer isn't it?
No, the end state of 70% of fertilized eggs ends in nothing. So when you're
Sure, and
saying the end state, what you're saying is the tiny, tiny percentage, okay, of that end state could, and that even once that's implanted, 30% of them are implanted. Of that 30%, some of them could become a human life. And I agree with you.
Sure.
Some of them could become a human life, but because you could become a human life doesn't mean you are a human life. Okay?
I would say yes if it's at the moment of conception. Then it is.
Where are you getting this moment of conception from, sir? I'm sorry. You've already debunked all of your claims. Where are you getting this moment of conception thing from?
What do you mean? But the moment of conception is when
You
it's
keep
burned
saying
and
this
then
moment of
it's combined.
conception thing, but you've already changed your stance twice on what a human life is and whether or not conception is part of being a human. Is the defining moment of what is a human life. So where are you getting this?
How have I done?
This I've already explained it to you. To be completely honest with you.
That okay? Because honestly, you've made pretty generalized, kind of putting words in my mouth, kind of weird examples. Like I'm not sure.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, but to everybody else that's listening, they realize that I am literally directly addressing your points, and your points you keep moving the goalpost on. Okay, you keep moving the goalpost on your points. Okay, and I'm waiting for you to stand on something without moving your points.
I haven't moved a single goalpost. I've always said that the moment of conception.
Did you not say that a human life is conscious?
Please hold on.
No. Did you or did you not say that a human life is conscious?
Sperm and embryo.
No, I need you to confirm. I need you to say yes or no on this, okay? Because either way it works for me, right? Either one way, you say that you didn't say that human life is conscious. Okay. And then I just make this into a video tomorrow and I just play it for everyone to show that you're a liar. Okay. Or you do say that it's conscious. Okay. And then you being a fertilized embryo doesn't make sense because fertilized embryos aren't conscious. So which one is it?
First off, to address that, you asked me what a human is, and I defined that for you. However, my addressing of that is every fetus embryo at the moment of conception, which is when a sperm and an embryo combine, is I don't want to even say precursor, but it is a human life. It develops into a human, and then it is born. It is growing. And
can
theologically,
develop into a human. And so your answer is no. You're saying that you're saying a human is not conscious. You're saying that consciousness is not required for a human being.
No, I already stated.
Is a human conscious, yes or no?
Not every human is conscious, no.
Not every human is conscious. Perfect. So you don't believe
No,
that
there are
consciousness is
people
a
who are
state in order for humanity?
Yeah, there are people out there who are disabled. Are you saying that they're not human? Because
Disabled? What disabled people are not conscious?
Hold on, wait. Are you saying that mentally disabled people who are not conscious are...
What mentally disabled people are not conscious?
Yeah, there's people out there who are either mentally disabled.
Who?
Or
What mental disorder do you have that's not conscious?
You could be born without a brain.
That's not a mental disorder. That means you're dead.
Or a disability.
What disability can you have where you're not conscious?
You could be in a coma. Are you conscious?
You could be in a coma. So you're saying like someone who's brain dead.
Born without a brain who have...
Sir, if you're born without a brain, you are not conscious. You can't be conscious without a brain.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there are people who are in vegetative states.
That's not a vegetative state. Those are people that have a vegetative state, okay, have lost their consciousness. They had a consciousness and then they lost that consciousness, okay? And you know what we can do what people in the United States, like, and first of all, let's be very clear. Most of the time in a vegetative state does not mean that they've lost consciousness, okay? They've lost, the ability to communicate and lost many other abilities, but it doesn't mean they've completely lost consciousness. But you know what we're allowed, when people have lost consciousness, you know what we call that in this country? Or in the world, in medical?
What do you call it? Sure. What do you call it? Sure.
Yeah, you call that brain dead, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and when someone's brain dead, do you have the right in this country to pull the plug on them? No, in this country, under our laws, if somebody is brain dead, okay. with no chance of recovery, okay, does the family have the right to pull the plug on that individual?
I guess my counterpoint is that...
No, you don't have a counterpoint until you answer the question. You can answer the question first, and then you can have a counterpoint.
Hold on. I guess because we're out here defining things, do you think that the patient is alive?
I'm not answering your question. I'm asking you if under the U.S. laws, do we have the ability, does the family have the ability to pull the plug on someone who is brain dead? Yes or no?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Okay, cool.
It's still killing them because they are alive.
Are they?
Yeah.
And how are they alive?
Because they're breathing. They're living.
I mean, most brain dead people are only breathing because a machine allows them to breathe.
Yeah, and there's elderly people who...
So they're not breathing. The machine is breathing.
Yes, but they're still alive.
How are they alive?
Right? There's cellular decay.
They're alive because they have cellular decay?
No, I said they are still alive because there is no cellular decay. They have not passed away.
Sir, we go through cellular decay every single day. I'm going through cellular decay. We friggin' again. You know how many thousands of skin cells I lose in a singular fucking day? Or hair follicles? That is literally cellular loss. That is cellular decay. That is cells dying off. Okay? So we go through cellular decay regardless of our stance, as long as we have a body. Okay?
It's insane.
So being in a state of cellular decay, okay, is not a requirement for not being alive. Because if that was the case, then I think every single living human being on this planet is literally dying right now, according to you. Is dead, is not human, because they're going through cellular decay.
No, that's not true. So my statement is, hey, they are literally dead, right? They are...
What is literally dead? Sir, you can't define literally dead because I've asked you what is literally alive and what is literally dead, and you've had no ability to answer either of those questions.
Literal death is when either one, a person comes by and says, hey, this person has passed away. They are no longer living, breathing. That does not happen in a hospital until the plug is pulled. So even in a hospital legal sense, they are still alive until the plug is pulled.
Gotcha. So
That
you're
is-
saying life
that
is
is
defined by the ability to breathe on your own.
No.
Okay,
that's
then what does
ability.
it have to do with somebody pulling the plug and breathing then? So you're saying sir, you don't get both options. What you're saying is when I'm asking you what is life, okay, you're saying that they're not pronounced dead until they pull the plug and that person can no longer breathe on their own. Okay? So therefore you're defining life as the inability to breathe on the ability to breathe on your own.
No.
Okay.
No,
so
that is-
what is life and
part
what
of
is
that.
death?
If you're asking for an overall generalization, my personal belief is life begins at the moment of conception.
Sure, I'm not
and life
asking for
ends
your personal belief.
when-
I can
when
personally
every
believe
piece of
that fucking the flying spaghetti monster is up in the sky and is going to spread his marinara all across us to save us from our sins. Okay, my personal belief means nothing. You said it was because of science. Okay,
My
and when
personal
I'm talking
belief
about
is informed by
science,
that.
science is
Of
defining
theology.
has a certain definition for things. Okay, so I'm asking you, okay, if you're just saying I believe with no evidence at all, okay, that life begins at conception, okay, then cool. I'm very happy for you to believe in your own little vacuum with absolutely no evidence towards a certain thing. It doesn't make it right or even logical, and definitely doesn't belong in any type of, laws or government that we have just because you're fucking crazy and you believe a certain thing.
What is your definition of when life begins?
Sure, yeah, it's current or past consciousness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even though that in Roe v. Wade, they literally stated in the document that regardless of any medicine philosophy and or theology, the legal lawyers were unable to arrive at any definitive definition of when life begins or ends.
First of all,
So
all
that-
lawyers are
there is
legal.
no
There's no like
scientific-
legal
there is
lawyers and
scientific-
non-legal lawyers. Second of all, you didn't ask me what Roe v. Wade's definition of life was. You asked me what my definition of life was. Because if you want to go on a legal stance, then I would refer you to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
But
do
I
you know
think-
when
but my
when the
statement-
14th Amendment of the Constitution gives you rights?
My statement was, you're saying, hey, my definitions of when life is, when life isn't, is based off of science and based off of cells, breathing, definitions, whatever.
Cells don't breathe.
And I'm saying, hey, the legal definition that supposedly decriminalized abortion, even though it shouldn't have been, even stated itself that they were unable to determine at any point when life begins or ends. And that was the most researched
Sweet.
topic
Then
on
we can
abortion
go to the
of all
Constitution.
time.
When does the Constitution give you rights in the United States?
That is when you were born in the United States or you're a citizen.
When you are what in the United States?
When you are born in the
Oh, when you're
United States,
born.
you
When
are-
you're born. So therefore, prior to being born, you do not have rights in this country.
No, that's not true, because when a pregnant mother is assaulted or murdered, then they are charged with double homicide.
That is actually only
There are
in
rights-
very
there are-
that's
there are-
actually
there is
in
a-
that's actually only in very, very rare situations. You understand that, right?
That's not very.
That is
rare.
not a
You murder
universal
pregnant mother,
law,
that is-
right? That is not a thing where like, oh, if she's pregnant, you're automatically charged with double homicide. Actually, that happens like I think like 1 or 2% of the time. And it varies depending on
regardless-
state.
That's in the law, though. You like.
So gotcha.
Yeah.
So in
It's a law,
certain
it's
states,
selective
there are
justice by
certain laws in which in some cases that can happen. And that's your standpoint?
No, my standpoint is that law is selectively applied, less than it should be.
So law is selectively applied.
Yeah, because there are states with legal laws that say.
Do I have to pay child support if while someone's pregnant?
Sorry?
If I get a girl pregnant and she's pregnant, do I need to pay child support while she's pregnant?
I think you support the mother, yes.
No, I didn't ask you whether you think. I said, do I have to pay child support?
I'm not sure. I think
Legally,
if
do
you're
I have to
divorcing-
pay child support?
I'm not child support, but I think alimony if you're divorced.
Alimony
Mother,
has
which-
to do with marriage. I didn't say I married this woman.
But the end state of.
I'm not asking you about the end state. If I knock some girl up this weekend, right? In 5 months, am I paying her child support while she's still pregnant? Yes or no?
Let me see.
Let me go and give you the answer. No, you don't pay child support while someone's pregnant. Do you know why you don't pay child support while no one's pregnant?
There are some states that do require you.
What
to pay
state?
some
I'll pull that up
child-
immediately. Please give it to me.
Utah.
Utah
requires it.
All right, let's take a look at that. I will gladly pull that up.
Yes, you are obligated to pay a portion of pregnancy-related costs in Utah due to a 2021 law
Incorrect.
that requires biological fathers to pay half of the mother's pregnancy-related medical expenses and insurance.
Pregnancy-related medical expenses is not child support.
That doesn't. You're paying.
I didn't.
costs.
No, you're trying to.
The
No,
law,
pregnancy-related medical expenses is not child support. I didn't ask you if some states make you pay the medical expenses for the person being pregnant. That's not child. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and assume you don't have kids.
I do not know.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking obvious. All right. See,
Okay.
as somebody who does have a child and also does pay child support, and let me be very, very clear, I've never missed a fucking payment. Okay.
Of child support. You've
Yeah.
Never made.
Never missed a
married?
payment. Okay. Let me be
you've
very,
never
very
missed a
clear that you do not, in any state in the United States, have to pay child support while someone is pregnant. Okay. Do you know why you don't have to pay child support while someone's not pregnant? While someone's pregnant?
I'm not sure. I don't think
Because
that's
they
ever been-
don't have rights as a child in the United States until they are born. Born.
Then how
Born with
criminalized
a B.
abortion? Then how does criminalized abortion exist if it is not identified as a child?
What do you mean, how does criminalized abortion exist?
Well, abortion was criminalized, or is to some degree in certain instances in some states criminalized.
It's insane.
How does that exist if the identification that a person who is pregnant, their child, is not a human being? How is it? Who's the crime against if it's abortion other than the
Sir,
person
you
being
do
aborted?
realize that law isn't anything, right? You do realize that slavery in this country was legal for a very long time, right?
Law is a lot of things because that's what you're basing your argument that.
No,
hey,
actually,
don't
I
have
was
to pay
basing it on the
child support,
Constitution.
which is a law, which is a. legal
Actually, I was
issue
basing it on the
if you-
Constitution. If you want to go back to the Constitution also very much makes slavery illegal, right? That's why we had to amend the Constitution in order to get rid of that, right? But do you think that that's do you think that because because like, you know, we had, you know, slavery legal in this country that it was correct?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
cool. Just wondering, sir. It is very obvious
Slavery
that
is
you
a
are
moral-
making your stance on abortion from a place that you don't understand.
I disagree.
Okay, well then will you please give me some type of valid argument towards abortion? Because so far you have changed your stance multiple times on what a human life is. All right, you've asked me what my stance on human life was, yet you completely ignored it. Right?
I haven't.
You have literally made false claims about Utah forcing child support on pregnant women, which is not true. You've made a false claim about by being universal, that is a double homicide if a woman is, that is pregnant is killed when it is actually a very, very small percentage. So why don't you just get to the real point? Why don't you just get to the real point of why you think abortion is wrong? Why don't you just get to the real point?
I haven't changed any stance. I've only.
Sure you didn't,
answered
bud.
the-
So why don't
the
you just get to the
questions
point?
that you have about abortion. I'm sorry.
Why don't you just get to the real point on why you think abortion is wrong?
I already made that was my intro point. Was abortion is a grave moral sin.
Grave moral sin. So it's a religious reason.
Religious. Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And which religion is that?
Christian.
Christian. Awesome. So if it's so immoral, then why does the Bible give instructions on how to give abortion?
That's not true.
Numbers 5.
Like where? Like where?
Numbers 5.
Numbers 5.
Mhm.
Numbers 5 on abortion.
Why do you need to go on abortion? Why don't you just pull up the Bible verse and read it?
That's what I am doing. Yeah, Numbers 5 is Old Testament.
Good job.
That was the law. The law was fulfilled by Christ with the New
I'm sorry. Does fulfill mean ended?
Just fulfilled. No, it's
Okay,
still there,
awesome.
but
What does
but it's
Jesus
still-
say after he says that he fulfilled the law?
That's a good question. Let's see.
Yeah. See, after he says that he fulfilled the law, he said that the law will stand until he comes back. Okay. And that no letter of the law shall be erased. Yeah. You have to keep reading past that verse in Matthew.
Matthew 5:17 states he came not to abolish them, but to fulfill them.
Now read 5:18.
Matthew 5:18. Let's see. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished, even though it's been fulfilled. He's talking about.
So he literally says, I did not come to abolish the law, which means the law is still here. I came to fulfill it, and not a single letter of the law will be removed until heaven and earth is gone. He is not saying that the Old Testament law is finished. Not only is he not saying that the Old Testament law is finished, he's specifically telling you to abide by it. So, when was the last time you had shrimp?
Sorry, what did you say?
I was just wondering when the last time you had shrimp was, or, when you wore mixed fabrics at any point in
time. The mixed fabrics is not an issue. I'm not sure. I think honestly that a lot of people read what's in the Old Testament and mistake it for current law. And
it is current law unless you don't believe Jesus. Because Jesus said the law wasn't abolished. He said the law wasn't abolished and the law will not be abolished or gone until heaven and earth disappear. Are we still on earth?
We are, yes.
Okay, so last time I checked, heaven and earth have not been abolished. We're still here, and since we're still here, I am going to assume that the law is not gone. Okay? Unless, you have some other interpretation of the Bible, that's not what Jesus wanted to say, right? So, and since Jesus said, I did not come to abolish the law, I came to fulfill it, not a single letter of the law shall be removed until heaven and earth are gone. All right, and we are still on earth. That means that the law is still in place. And since the law is still in place, you should not be wearing mixed fabrics or eating shrimp or shaving. Okay, pretty sure you can't do that. But also, you should also be abiding by Numbers 5 and making sure that if you believe that your wife is cheating on you, you should make sure she has an abortion.
Actually, so at worst, the Numbers 5 passage implies future infertility. The ritual was not a remedy for an unwanted pregnancy, aka abortion.
Yes, sir. I don't want to hear you researching what some other person thought about this verse. I would rather just read the verse. Google searching okay. What's like how to beat the Numbers 5 argument is pretty lame when I have your actual verse.
Okay, so a couple of things with that. One, you can read a lot of things at face value and make assumptions that are not furthered with context.
Sure, I can read the whole chapter and give you the entire context.
I'd implore you to read the entirety of it.
I've read the entirety of the Bible front to back, Genesis to Revelation, multiple times.
You've read, sorry?
I have read the entire Bible, cover to cover, Genesis to Revelation, multiple times. I know exactly which context I'm speaking in.
Such as, what's the context behind that.
Yeah, sure.
Curious.
Very, very simple. See, in the Old Testament, they wanted, if somebody had because infertility was a huge thing because, women didn't have rights or anything like that, which is very prevalent throughout the entire Old Testament. It said that if a man believes at any point in time that his wife is cheating on him, what he is to do is to take a grain offering, okay, to the priest. And the priest is supposed to mix that with dirt from the ground, creating a mixture of a drink. And then with that drink, he is supposed to tell the woman, hey, if you have cheated on your husband, that you shouldn't, if you haven't cheated on your husband, then nothing should happen to you. But if you did cheat on your husband, this grain offering should go into your body and create a curse, and that curse cause your stomach to swell and your abdomen to miscarry. Okay, it is literally saying that God puts a curse on their body and that forces their body to miscarry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so what does that impact on today's Christianity?
What impact does that have on today's Christianity? Well, that depends, sir. If you want to, take a today's version of Christianity and say, I want to ignore everything that God said, okay, then it probably has no effect on you whatsoever. But if you actually want to read the Bible and actually listen to what apparently is God's word according to your religion, then God says that abortion is totally cool as long as the woman is cheating.
I'm curious on what supports that. I've never
Numbers 5, because if you read the verse, that's what it said. And not the verse, the entire chapter, that's what it says. That's not even talking about the fact that the Bible very specifically says that life begins at first breath, not friggin' during conception. The Bible also very clearly during the eye for an eye verse says that, if a life is taken, then it's an eye for an eye, life for a life. But if a fetus is taken, then it's a monetary value that's paid to the husband of the woman, right? Because it doesn't give the same value of life to a fetus. Okay, it gives a monetary value to a fetus, but it gives a life value to the wife. Okay, the Bible is incredibly clear, okay, that life does not begin at conception. It is insanely clear. There's only one exception to that, which is Jeremiah 1:5, I believe is the correct verse, in which he says, Jeremiah, I knew you before you were born. And in that specific context, he is talking about a singular person. He is talking about Jeremiah and how he knew Jeremiah. So unless your name is Jeremiah and you're a prophet from the Old Testament, God doesn't mention at any point in time that he knew you in the womb or that you actually had a life before you were in the womb. There is one part in the New Testament where he talks about knowing you before you were there, like in the heavens prior. But that has nothing to do with you being a life in the womb. It just has him knowing your soul prior to that. So therefore having nothing to do with you being an actual life in the womb.
Okay, so the implication of that statement is I knew you before you were, I knew you because your argument is saying, oh, I knew you as a soul, but that implies that I knew you as your soul, as a fetus, as an embryo, as a human.
No, then you have to prove to me that a fetus has a soul. And there's nothing in the Bible that says that.
I kind of doubt that, but...
You can doubt it all you want. You're the Christian. Tell me the verse.
Because I knew you before you were is an implication of existence.
No, he said, Jeremiah, I knew you before you were born.
Okay, so
not everyone. The Bible doesn't say, "Hey, all people forever, I knew you before you were born." Jeremiah said, "He says, Jeremiah, I knew you."
And all-knowing God only knew Jeremiah. That's your argument.
No, the all-knowing God specifically decided to say that he only knew Jeremiah.
No, that's.
You want me to pull up the verse? I can. It's not hard. We can read your Bible, dude. Dude, trust me. I promise you, dude. I promise you, dude. Like I can pull up your Bible. It's not a problem for me at all. Okay. But I promise you, the more I read your Bible, the more like I'm going to be winning this. Okay. The last thing you want me to do is to continue reading verses out of your Bible. Okay. Because they are going to make you look like more and more wrong the entire way we go through this.
I absolutely disagree with that.
Okay, cool. Then let's pull up your Bible. Let's pull up your Bible. No, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to continue this and if you want to read your Bible, okay? If you want to read your Bible, we totally can, dude.
I'm just saying your argument of him
Jeremiah
only stating-
1:5 was the verse. I was right there. The words of Jeremiah, son of Hilkiah, one of the priests of Anathoth in the territory of Benjamin. The word of the Lord came to him in the 13th year of the reign of Josiah, son of Amon, king of Judah. And through the reign of Jehoiakim, I can never pronounce all the Bible, like I can never pronounce every single one of them. Son of Josiah, king of Judah, down from the 5th month of the 11th year of Zedekiah, son of the king son of Josiah, king of Judah, when the people of Judah went into exile. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, before I was formed, I knew you, and I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as the prophet to the nations. Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. But the Lord said to me, do not say I am too young. You must go to everyone I send you and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. So awesome. So he is very specifically, having a conversation with Jeremiah. Okay? Sure. That is what this verse is saying. This verse is not making a broad statement saying, I knew every single person when they were in the womb. I knew every single person before they were born. It is specifically saying Jeremiah had a conversation with God. Okay? And let's also be very clear that this is not God saying that he had this conversation with Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah saying that he had this conversation with God. Okay? See, in today, like in 2025, okay, if Jeremiah was to say that, we'd call him a schizophrenic. Okay? But that's okay. That's okay. Let's just assume that he wasn't. Okay? Let's just assume that he wasn't. Okay, this is a singular incident. Okay, a singular incident of God saying X, Y, and Z. That's all.
So contextually, reading the text and inferencing throughout the entire Bible, you know that God is an all-powerful, all-knowing. And so your inference is, oh, he's only talking to Jeremiah, therefore his infinite in terms of knowing him before he was born only applies to Jeremiah. That's an argument that makes no sense. That's like just saying it at face value. Oh, he's only talking about Jeremiah.
God had the whole Bible to tell all of us that he knew he was born. But instead of doing that, he just talked to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah just decided to say in this book that he talked to God.
No, that's been no. In terms of if you're talking about life.
So this all-knowing, omnipotent God, okay, had the ability to tell all of us that he knew all of us before he was born. But instead, he just talked to Jeremiah just for Jeremiah to tell us that he talked to God, and we're supposed to infer everything from that.
No.
Well, that's what's happening right now, because again, God isn't saying this. Jeremiah is saying this. Okay? I need to be clear. Jeremiah, and again, I'll put up the verse again so we can be very clear. This is not God saying this. It says, verse 4, the word of the Lord came to me saying, okay, which means that Jeremiah is the one that is stating that God talked to him. Okay? It's not God saying it the other way around. It is Jeremiah saying that God talked to him. Okay?
Yeah. So,
and God told him, according to Jeremiah, which again, just being completely honest with you, I have a little brother who's a schizophrenic. Okay?
It's insane.
This is schizophrenia talk. Okay? Like my little brother has told me God talked to him before. All right? Guess we should just believe him. His name's not Jeremiah. All right? But I guess we should just assume everybody that tells me that God talked to them, we should just, just completely just abandon all logic and just go along with it, but that's fine. He said, God said to me, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, right? So let's also be very clear that God is not saying, in the womb, you were a human. God's saying before you were in the womb, you were a human, or you were a soul or whatever, whatever God's referencing there, according to Jeremiah. It doesn't have to make sense. That's fine. It's the Bible. It doesn't have to make sense. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Okay. None of this has to do with any other human being on the planet, unless you're saying that every single human being on the planet, okay, was set apart and appointed as a prophet to the nation about 3,000 years ago.
So a couple of things. One, here's an example, right? If I'm sitting here having a conversation with you, you make statements to me, and I say, hey, I'm making an inference that based upon your statements, you may not like Trump. Do you think that's a good characterization of your character, of you yourself?
Me liking or disliking Trump has nothing to do with my character.
No, I'm just stating in general, like what your thoughts are.
In general, my character has nothing to do with a political appointee.
From your statements to me of your certain viewpoints or things that you can or cannot do. Not saying that you stated anything specifically. I'm just stating, isn't that every conversation?
Sir, am I God?
No, you're not.
Okay, am I fallible?
Please answer my question.
No, am I fallible?
Is it possible?
No, you're making a comparison between me and God. And God...
Hold on.
No, God is, again, omnipotent, like you said. Okay? Like you said, omniscient and omnipotent. Okay? Which means that the words that are in the Bible, okay, God knew those exact words were going to be in the Bible. And he specifically selected those words in order to be a part of the Bible. And God, in that Bible, in that same Bible, did not choose to tell all of us that he knew us before we were born.
Do I read a paragraph from a book at face value without any other...
No, you should read the whole Bible. It gets much worse than this. This is low-hanging fruit, bro. You should see what the Bible has to say about slavery.
I'm just stating that your argument...
Just to let you know, God was like super cool with it.
I'm just stating that your argument that God was speaking to Jeremiah, that your argument that, oh, he only stated this to Jeremiah, therefore he can only do this with Jeremiah, just lacks...
I didn't say he can. I didn't say he couldn't do it with anyone else. The question is not whether he could, it's whether he does. Okay? And you cannot prove that he does. Okay? If your God is omnipotent, then he can do whatever he wants, which means he also can be super fucking cool with abortion. Okay? He can do whatever. Okay? Can and is doing are two completely different things. Does this verse say that he can't know people before they were born? No, it doesn't say that at all. Doesn't say that at all. So it also doesn't say that he does know everyone before he was born. That's your assumption, right? Just like your assumption, just like you're making the assumption that God is against abortion when God doesn't say that. Says the exact opposite.
So question, you point to that specific verse and says, hey, he doesn't know people before they are born, therefore abortion
didn't say that.
Fine. You point to the specific.
Didn't say that.
Point to the specific. Hold on, please.
But I didn't say that. You're misrepresenting my argument.
Please.
No. I'm not going to hold on why you continue to misrepresent my argument.
It's kind of rude that you interrupt me when I'm trying to.
It's kind of rude that you're misrepresenting my argument also.
I don't think so. I think that's...
Well, you can... sir, I don't believe that you've been completely thinking this entire argument. Okay? To be completely honest with you, okay?
I disagree with that. I think... Let me get back to my point. Your point to the Jeremiah argument and stating, hey, he's only talking to Jeremiah. This is the verse that Christians use to state that abortion should be illegal because life exists and God knew people before. You point to Jeremiah. You brought up the Jeremiah. So I'm kind of confused on how you state that he isn't stating that he does or
does not. The only reason that Jeremiah got brought up is because I brought up Jeremiah.
Yeah. So you
don't, sir. You do understand. You do understand that I brought up your argument for you. Okay, I literally brought up your argument for you that you didn't have. Okay, you didn't know anything about this verse. You asked me what verse it was, and then I told you what verse it is and brought it up. You've never heard of this verse. Okay, you didn't even know this fucking verse existed 10 minutes ago. Okay, I brought up your argument and then beat you at your argument before you even had a chance to argue it because you've never read this verse in your damn life. Okay, and now you are trying to argue this verse that you've never heard in your fucking life against me. Okay? Let's not play fucking stupid here, dude. I am very, very sorry. Okay? That an atheist knows your Bible better than you do. Okay? I advise you to read the Bible half as much as I have. And then maybe you'd realize that everything that I'm saying is completely true. Okay? But you are trying to use literally the verses I brought up, okay, that prove your argument wrong against me because you have been told that the Bible is against abortion and you have no backing in order to actually prove that. So instead of backing down, you're just like, I'm going to protect this at all costs, regardless, even though your Bible doesn't say that. So next time you want to use your religion, next time you want to use your religion as an argument, learn your religion first.
So your argument was to point to Jeremiah.
Sir, next time you want to argue your religion as a talking point, learn your... No, I'm not holding on for shit because I'm tired of arguing religion with a Christian that doesn't know their own fucking Bible. Okay? Next time you want to argue your religion as a talking point, learn your Bible first. I advise that you read your Bible and actually learn it. And personally, I would say do it from an objective standpoint, but it doesn't seem like that's possible right at this point. But I would say learn your Bible from an objective standpoint before you come in the ring with somebody who's an atheist who knows your Bible better than you do. Okay? How old did you say you were?
I think it's very sad. I think everyone is or has a reason that they.
How old did you say you were?
I'm sorry.
How would you say you were?
Actually, I'm in my mid-20s.
You're in your mid-20s. I was a Christian longer than you've been alive. Okay? Don't you don't want to play the Bible game, dude. I know.
I think
but regardless of any of that, I hope you have a wonderful day, okay?
God said, let there be.
God said, kill all the babies. Deuteronomy 21. God says lots of things. Okay, not sure you want to be not sure you want to be freaking like just recording everything that God says. Anyways, Gradual Learner said, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said much love. You have all the receipts. Love your show. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And Jen, Jen said I'm a married lesbian and I agree you're handsome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Jen. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much. And Mr. If you want to get some rest, we understand. I don't mind watching you a bit longer. That was my last one. I am about to freaking pass out. Make sure you guys hit that follow or subscribe button. I really appreciate y'all. Rico said, I've never heard dog walking on abortion like this perfection. Dean would be jealous. Well, that's actually very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I do my best. Plant Fire said, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I am having a really bad day. It lasts like 48 hours. If you guys like to support the live, again, super chats. I have all my pay links in my bio. I could really, really use it right now. Like, I'm just being completely honest with you. So if you guys like to support, this is a great night to do it. But I really do appreciate that, Plant Fire. You guys, that's very sweet. Thank you so much. Tobin said, careful, Paulie. I think you're about to break his brain. I think it's broken. I think we're done here. I think we've made it.
It's insane.
And it said, I can't understand. Oh my God, with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I said, I can't understand what this guy is trying to articulate. He doesn't seem to understand logic, reasoning, biology, or medical science. So I'm unsure if he understands what he believes. He doesn't. And that's why I told him to go read his Bible. Because he doesn't. He doesn't understand. Okay? He's been told a certain standpoint, and he's decided that he's going to stick to that standpoint regardless of anything that's brought to him. But that's okay. He doesn't. But thank you so much. Too cool. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Rico said, so good I had to tip twice. Thank you so much, Rico. That's really awesome. Chris, I see you over there with the resubscribe. Really, really appreciate that also. Thank you so much. Mr. Thur said, that's what I call an unearned Christian. We don't claim him. Didn't even say his denomination, which matters as they interpret the Bible differently. I don't think that guy knew his own denomination, to be completely honest with you. But, you know, it is what it is. But thank you so much, Mr. Third. Stacey says, as a recovering Catholic, it tickles me to hear an atheist school a Christian on the Bible. Thanks for brightening my day. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Barbara, thank you so much for the $2. Stacy, thank you so much for the $2. And Jeffrey, atheist telling a Christian to read their Bible. Yeah, that's always super fun. I really do appreciate y'all. I think I do have to get off the night. I'm so tired. I haven't slept in like so long. I haven't slept in like so long, but I really appreciate you guys. I need to get off. I'm so tired. I need to sleep for like so long. I hope you all have a wonderful night, okay? And I really do appreciate all the support. I will try to be back on tomorrow night. Hopefully I see you guys tomorrow night, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Ark, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it on the way out.